All right, so this is a little breakdown. This is a breakdown of Shakedown. I don't have the vocal on it, obviously, but so this is before they mixed it down. So it sounds much more raw, a lot more different. So even for this, I might just 156 it. I'm gonna keep it just simple. So this is before the vocal. This is all instrumentation. This is exactly what I use. So I'll show y'all. So the drums are right here. So this is actually the original bounce. So I'll tell y'all, there's a little hilarious story. So what's crazy about this whole beat, right? This whole beat specifically, I lost the original session for this. But I did have all the sounds and I had everything there. Actually, I think I might have the OG. So let me even go farther back than this. I think I have the original one. Shakedown. All results. Shakedown final. Don't save this. So here we go. We're gonna run it back one more time. All right, so y'all gonna laugh at this. So I actually have the full stems for this one right here. This one's a little bit more. I think I actually have the vocal for it. I have Danny Brown's actual vocal for this. So let me mute those. I don't want to get in trouble with that. So this is exactly the same track, but what you got here is a very, very similar setup. But it's just me playing throughout the whole thing. So this is the original bounce. That other one, I had to remake it, but what you got here, and I'm actually gonna mute this stuff so y'all can hear it. So the 808 that I'm using is from my early volume packs. I have a volume 2 where the one shot that I'm using is called Lewd 808, and it's the 808 number 2 right here. I'll show y'all right here. This is literally it. It's literally just that, but I took all the high end off of the bass and just cut it. So what you're hearing is this. And as well, I just saw someone say arcade. So arcade, I used arcade for the flutes. It was something I really couldn't come up with by myself, but let me see if I can find this right here. I think I got the flutes. The flutes are sitting somewhere right here. I think this is it right here. That's all arcade, right? Now here's something crazy, right? So y'all wouldn't know this if you heard it like a standalone, but what's crazy is this, right? So I think I've told you guys about my homie GFL Paul. GFL Paul is the homie that I've been working with for years. I made a whole video talking about him, but let's see here. This, and to answer your question, Mo, this, just to give you a consensus of when this was, the year was 2020, and I was making a bunch of these beat videos, and I had a bunch of different ideas. I was trying to see how far I can stretch my sound packs that I was making. And so one of the ideas was literally this. And so even the hi-hat, this right here, that's also a volume 3. It's my volume 3 sound pack sounds. Am I using any essential instruments? This is actually before I made instruments. All the instruments I was using, even for this specifically, the only 808 that is actually being used in this track specifically is from my volume 2, which is called Lewd 808. But the guitar, you're going to laugh at this. So the guitar comes from Contact, okay? And you guys know the jazz guitar, like the OG jazz guitar that's sitting in the Contact? That's the guitar that you're hearing in this record. So I'll even solo that for a second. That way you guys can hear it. And this was combining a couple effects. I was using chorus, of course. I had a verb, like a really, really like 5-second long verb. The echo part in the echo Ableton rack, and flutter. That was like the last effect. And I wanted to make all the high end shimmer. So without all that, this is what it sounds like dry. With it dry, it just sounds like this. But if you combine all that together, it just makes it really majestic. So that's the sound you're hearing. It's the guitar, the stock guitar from Contact. Ableton stock as well created all those sounds to get that. Even with the keys, this is all from Volume 2. Even with the rim shot. Now, the rim shot goes even farther back than that. Now, Volume 1. The kick and the rim are from my Volume 1 sound packs. And here's another thing, too, as well. I didn't even tell you guys about this. I made a video talking about how to program drum rolls, too. So you guys know how, like, I programmed the individual hits for a snare drum. The cymbal roll here is actually using addictive keys. Not keys, addictive drums. The cymbal roll right here. That's what you're hearing when it rolls. So playing it into it, that's all addictive. So shout out to Excellent for them for that. And y'all gonna laugh at this part. So Paul, okay? GFL Paul, aka Cowboy Killer. He was known as GFL Paul when this beat was made, but this vocal, that's all Paul. That's his voice. So shout out to Paul. I remember I made this. This was just the beat by itself, and I remember playing it for him. He was like. He was like, hey, yo, bro. He was like, bro, can I at least like add like a little texture on this? I was like, yeah, sure. And this is what he sent me. He sent me this vocal. I'm going to show you guys the raw one. Actually, like without any of like the effects on it, this is just his voice live. And so we were like, let's just pitch it up. And this is the result right here. And the cool part about this whole beat, I managed to play piano on the whole thing. So when this beat was conceived, I didn't even like have like electric key out. It wasn't even out yet. So yeah, but I remember when we were working on all this whole thing literally came from like me and Paul like jamming, and Danny Brown's team emailed me specifically like, yo, you got any beats? And we also got another song that isn't out anywhere, but it was a secondary idea that probably would have been on the album. Depending on whatever they do for a deluxe, I hope to God that the other song we worked on called Soundgarden comes out. That's just I just hope so. And if not, Danny, if you want to slide that one over here, I would love to drop that. But I understand. Hey, we got to talk. But this is obviously without his vocals. And shout out to Danny Brown for having me a part of the album. And if you haven't listened to Karanta, yeah, this is still during that like early era. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't fucking.
Yeah. So that's basically it. And shout out to Danny Brown. If you guys have not peeped the album, check it out.